This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
Hello everybody and welcome to a very special extended edition of the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network along with Brian Bolf, Shawn Grugel, Quadell Edwards. I'm Jason Clouse. We have so much to talk about that we couldn't fit it in our traditional 1-hour time slot, so we're going over a little bit because here tonight live we are going to be breaking down the card for this weekend's incredible SummerSlam event. And later on in the program, we are going to be paying our own tribute and homage to the one and only Hulk Hogan. You can join the conversation live by calling into the show at 810-277-3743, or you can correspond with us live on the live chat on the ONTV Facebook page. With that, gentlemen, let's get right into SummerSlam, the second, in a lot of fans' minds, the second biggest PLE of the event of the year. Q, I'm going to start with you real quick. You talk about SummerSlam. You talk about the history of this event going all the way back to 1988. Here we are in 2025. This thing, for the first time ever, is now 2 nights instead of the traditional one. When I say SummerSlam, what's that mean to you?
That's the biggest party of the summer.
Very, very clever tagline. Is this one of those shows that you mark on your calendar every year? Like, this is must see.
Oh, absolutely.
He took off work.
I did too.
I took off work
guys.
for this event. For me, SummerSlam has always been like a big event for me. That was actually the very first, back when it was a pay-per-view, that I actually paid for and watched live. I think it was 92.
The one in England.
Yeah, it was the first. Yeah,
Okay.
Yep. That was the first one that I paid on pay-per-view to watch.
By the way, respect. That was awesome.
Thank you.
But
I like that. I was like, I'm impressed.
But yeah, man, SummerSlam is big, and I'm excited for this weekend. I think we're gonna see some surprises, some good action, and it's all gonna come together, man. I love it.
Shawn, we look at SummerSlam. We look back to the way we felt in 1988 when they debuted this event, the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks in the main event. And in the years after that, Q mentioned the 92 edition, which was in Wembley Stadium. WWE has always tried to make this event feel special. When I say SummerSlam to you, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I know this is going to sound crazy when it comes out of my mouth, but the first thing that I always think of when it comes to SummerSlam is Hulk Hogan, because the SummerSlam logo always matched up with the Hulkster's logo, and I always put SummerSlam in some way, shape, or form with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, and it has been that way probably up until around the 2000s when they changed the logo of the event to a more blue-green type of color scheme. Brian, this is the first year that they're going to break this into 2 nights, much like what they've done with WrestleMania. Do you look at this as a necessary move to expand the SummerSlam weekend into 2 nights? Does the show have that kind of prestige where we can be okay with this? What's your opinion on
I've seen
this?
a lot of negative stuff. I'm completely okay with if all the big four go to a 2-night, but and we leave it at that. Like Royal Rumble seems to make the most sense to me to go to a 2-night. I was kind of surprised that they went SummerSlam first, because you could do both your Rumbles basically on one card and the rest of the card there. I'm a fan. It's more wrestling. I like wrestling. That's why I'm here. That's why we're doing this. It's like I enjoy it. And this card is stacked and looks great.
It is. You're looking at 2 nights. You look at the number of superstars who have been assigned to this card either on Saturday or Sunday. But then we were sitting here off air and talking about the guys that and the gals for that matter that are not on this card. Penta is one that really popped up. I was like, man, you put all this hype on this guy. He didn't even make the card here. Bailey is another one. I have my own opinions on what they're doing with the Intercontinental Championship, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I feel like Bailey should have gotten that nod instead of Lyra Valkyria. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But let's look at the card as it stands right now for SummerSlam on Saturday. Now, this all goes down from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, home of WrestleMania 35 a handful of years ago. Moving the show to a major building like this that adds even more prestige. And they've been doing this for the last few years, moving the show from your traditional 20,000 seat basketball arenas to 50, 60, 70,000 seat football stadiums. MetLife has a history with WWE. Do you anticipate we're going to get that same kind of energy with SummerSlam that we saw at WrestleMania a handful of years ago?
I think so. I think they're going to really try to push the magic, so to speak. Of it's pretty much a summer version of WrestleMania, what they're trying to push. But and they're claiming that it's their second biggest event. So, why not go all out? You got Jelly Roll on the card.
Crying out loud.
Come on, the celebrities are out here, man.
We're going to be talking about Jelly Roll in just a moment, but let's look at what the main event of Saturday is going to be. The World Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line when Gunther is going to put the title on the line against number 1 contender CM Punk. This is a match that we kind of thought we may have seen earlier in the year. At least Punk's name was thrown out there as a potential Royal Rumble winner. That obviously went to Jey Uso, but now they get to run it back, right? Now we get we get the ring general, we get the best in the world. The World Championship is on the line. Q, I'll start with you. Gunther is as old school as it gets in this day and age. There is not anything about this guy that you don't believe in.
Right.
The same can be said with CM Punk. His rise to where he's at now, very organic, right?
Yeah.
This is a very intriguing main event. It is a contrast of styles. What do we see here? Do we see the crowning of a new world champion on Saturday?
If I can cheat a little bit, I got a boring way, and then I got the interesting way. The boring way is Gunther's going to retain, and that's going to be it. But the interesting element that I can see is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, is it a work? Is it a shoot? Is he really injured? Is he really hurt? Is he going to surprise us all and cash in? He made the statement saying that CM Punk will never hold a world championship. So this can easily be turned into a triple threat. I know they did that last month, and but it won't make sense for CM Punk to win and then Seth Rollins come and take it. He said CM Punk will never get it. So I think, why not see Seth Rollins if it is a high schemed plan?
Shawn, CM Punk is the wild card, or I'm sorry, Seth Rollins is the wild card here, being Mr. Money in the Bank, and they have strategically kept his name kind of out of the headlines since the injury at Saturday night's main event. Do you, in your opinion, is this a work with Seth Rollins, and do we see a cash-in tomorrow night?
I think it's a work, but I don't think we see a cash-in. Gunther, who has he faced since he's won the title? Goldberg?
Right.
He needs some momentum. He needs some energy. And I think CM Punk is just, the story isn't CM Punk and Gunther. It's CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I say we see Seth Rollins cost CM Punk the title, Gunther goes over, and we start seeing this continual grudge match. Because when CM Punk, we've said it before, and I agree with Q here, it's not about getting the trophy. It's about the chase. So, and the fans really rally behind CM Punk, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Gunther retains.
So if the story here, Brian, is primarily Punk and Rollins, does that mean Gunther is forgotten, even in his role as the world champion going into SummerSlam?
Yeah, a little bit, because we have to remember we have Clash at Paris next month, and then we got Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Last year we saw Gunther at Crown Jewel. Are we going to really see Gunther again? And I mean, I guess it really also depends on what happens on Sunday. Are we going to really see Gunther and Cody Rhodes again?
Right.
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, because it worked so well last year.
Yeah. But, so, my pick, though, I'm actually going CM Punk.
I am too. I'll be honest with you. Anybody knows?
And I don't think we'll see the cash in.
No?
No.
You don't think it'll be a failed cash in?
Nope. I think Punk. I'm sure there will probably be something that happens along the way in that match. Maybe not. I would honestly, at this point, like we've talked about, there's been so much interference lately. I'd love to see a straight match, but I think CM Punk's gonna take the belt.
It's going to be very interesting to see how these two match up, and take the storyline aspect out of it. We've seen footage of these two working each other overseas just a couple of months ago, and the chemistry's there. Mm-hmm. And I really wish they had spent more time to develop this match, especially if it's for a world title. You got to assume this is going to main event tomorrow night, night one of SummerSlam. So I sit here and I look at it like, man, if you don't pull the trigger on Punk now, when are you going to do it?
Exactly.
You've had these opportunities. Okay, granted, take the shoulder injury that he had with Drew McIntyre off the table. This is CM Punk's time. He's not going to get any hotter than this. He is hot as a firecracker. I was in Detroit on Monday for Monday Night Raw, and when he came out, that was one of the three biggest pops of the night when CM Punk came out. And I'm telling you, yes, he is very popular. Yes, the masses love him, but his window of opportunity is closing to pull the trigger and make a world title run make sense, to make it believable. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with this, and if Seth Rollins does in fact become involved as being the holder of the Money in the Bank contract. Let's switch gears now. Also on Saturday, we will see the WWE Women's Championship on the line when Tiffany Stratton is going to put the title on the line against the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. This match has me straight up nervous, Q, because I mean Tiffany has been on a roller coaster straight up. She has really taken her spot here and made the most of it. Jade Cargill, with all the talents, all the charisma that she has even winning the Queen of the Ring tournament. There's something missing with her, and this match of all of them is what has me the most nervous. Not because I'm worried about anything other than this making Tiffany look bad, because as good as she is, I don't think she has the experience at this point to be able to carry Jade Cargill if she gets lost, because that seems like that's a common theme with her. What is your takeaway? Do we see a new champion, or will we come into the next PLE still being Tiffy time?
This is an interesting one. I'm nervous about this one too. Their chemistry right now, character-wise, is not quite there. Like there's already no development in this feud. I mean, they haven't. I don't know. They did a couple of promos maybe, That's about it. But there's no fire behind this. And that kind of takes away from it. Even if the match is good, which I hope it is, there's not that much heat behind it. But I do think that Tiffy is going to retain, only because, you asked me a month ago, I would have said, okay, I think Jade is going to get this. But now that Naomi cashed in on the other champion,
Right.
There's no need to put the title on Jade. 'Cause right now, I think Jade is miscast. She is not a baby face. I mean, you don't want to like this girl. Like, she should be more of a Nia Jax type girl. She's big, strong. She don't sell well.
Right.
So.
Do you think this is possibly the perfect opportunity to? Because
She's gonna get booed.
I feel like she's going to get booed with
Yeah.
the Tiffany fans.
She's definitely getting booed. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be the Tiffany fans that are going to be booing her. I think I think it's going to be a 90-10 split.
Yeah.
Because of what you're saying. And Shawn, I'll throw this over to you. Is Jade Cargill ready for a title run at this point?
Well, storyline-wise, I think she is. And I'll tell you why. Who's missing from this card?
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. There's your story, okay? Tiffany Stratton, she's already completed her story. She already beat the Queen, and Charlotte Flair. Jade Cargill still has unfinished business with Bianca Belair choosing Naomi as her partner. So I have a feeling we're going to see Jade go over Tiffany Stratton for this belt, with Bianca being the wild card in this.
It's interesting, and we were sitting here before we came on the air, Brian, talking about the talent that isn't involved in SummerSlam. We mentioned Penta, we mentioned Bayley. Bianca Belair is another one that is conspicuous by her absence. Where do you see this match going, and will Bianca be a factor?
Honestly, I didn't even think about Bianca being a factor. And as much as we talk about Jade going heel, man, maybe we could see Bianca help her translate that. I'd love to see Bianca go heel at this point. I think she needs something different.
I totally agree.
Just like the last match, I'll bring it up again. We got Crown Jewel in 2 months. We could possibly see Jade versus Naomi at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that match. I don't think Jade's ready. I don't think, like you said, there's a piece missing. It's hard to put your finger on. She looks less sloppy in the ring, but she doesn't look like she has the flow yet of a match. For that reason alone, I'm going to say that they'd be the smartest move to stick with Tiffany.
I agree with you in the aspect that she's looking better based on what we saw when she first made her arrival to WWE, being a part of the tag team with Bianca. She's gotten better. I'll be honest, I was surprised they let her win the Queen of the Ring. Like, getting her to the finals, sure, I understood that. But I was really shocked that they went with her. And it's not like she doesn't look like a star, because she does. She doesn't perform like a star right now. And I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what it is, because it didn't seem like she had this much of an issue when she was with AEW. And I don't know if it's because it's a bigger platform, it's a bigger stage, it's brighter spotlights, it's a bigger crowd. I don't know what the deal is. But this also could be a scenario where you throw them in there and it's sink or swim. This could be Jade Cargill's last stand as a main event player in the women's division. Speaking of main event players, you got two that are going to be involved in the next tag team match. However, in my opinion, grossly, this is not the match that they should be on, in my opinion. But for pop culture and for mainstream purposes, it makes all the sense in the world, because we are going to see the Viper, Randy Orton, is going to be teaming up with recording megastar Jelly Roll to take on Drew McIntyre and the Maverick Logan Paul. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo all over Jelly Roll because, look, I respect what the man's done. I respect what he does for music, for the community, and I respect the fact that he's really put himself through the ringer of getting himself in shape. He's dropped over 120 pounds. He looks great. I just listened to his interview with Stephanie McMahon on her podcast. And the celebrity aspect, Q, is always hit and miss with WWE. You get some that are fire, like Bad Bunny, for example, and then you get ones that miss. They just completely miss. Travis Scott's a great example. I don't even want to bring that guy's name up because it's hard to keep within PG-14 parameters, but be that as it may. For Randy Orton, for Drew McIntyre, and for Logan Paul, this to me feels like, I mean, I know it's an attraction match, but this does nothing for any of the other three. What is your takeaway? Who do we see going over here?
Oh, man, we're definitely seeing Jelly Roll with the Boss Man Slam. Man, yeah, this one is this is going to be just a fun match. It's kind of like an exhibition, you know. There's nothing, you're not getting anything from it. There's no stakes. It's just you're getting in a ring with a superstar. You know, that's pretty much it. You know, Jelly Roll, hopefully he has his move set together because what I've seen on SmackDown when he was allowing Logan Paul to just bump off of him, dude wasn't moving, man. When he hit that back elbow, he barely moved. Like, he just stood there. Logan Paul just ran into him. That's all that was. But, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he lost his weight and everything, and he's getting himself all geared up for it. But, man, he's going to be yeeting all up in there, man. I don't know. He might be gassed out like Jay.
Anytime you use
But
the
I'm
word
going with-
yeeting all up in there.
I'm going Orton. Orton and Jelly. RK Jelly. Right there.
You brought up a point in a conversation that I think that you and I had, and then I saw something that you had posted online. Your wife, Sharon, is not a wrestling fan.
Nope.
But she is a Jelly Roll fan.
Loves Jelly Roll.
So because of his involvement, she is invested in SummerSlam.
She's going to watch SummerSlam.
She's going to watch SummerSlam just to see him.
Yep.
How many more millions, no, I don't know if millions is the right word, but how many other hundreds of thousands of people are tuning in just out of curiosity's sake because of this?
I mean, who can tell? Honestly, Jelly Roll has a massive following. So, I mean, the numbers, you can't come up with a number. But, as much as I love my wife, I love you, honey. McIntyre, Logan
You're
Paul.
all right.
This is what I want to see. McIntyre, Logan Paul, pinning Randy Orton getting ticked off, and RKOing Jelly Roll and going back heel. That's what I want to see.
Oh,
Okay.
you put a story to my exhibition.
Does Jelly Roll stand up and go, "Somebody save me"?
I am not okay.
If you're Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, how pissed off are you right now? Or are you?
I don't think you are, because when the papers come out, if they're going to talk about any match from SummerSlam, the papers will have this match on the titles, and like it gives them more press. So I don't think they will be.
I want to point something out. There's 3 angry men. Look at this goofy son of a gun.
He's
down
just
in the
happy
corner.
to be there.
Oh, he's happy to be there.
He's just happy. He's getting paid. Make no mistake about it. But you know the thing about Jelly Roll that I do appreciate, and again, this is after listening to his interview on Stephanie's podcast. He is a legitimate fan
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
of professional
Respects
wrestling.
the business.
He loves the business,
Yeah.
and that is what comes through on that graphic. He's just happy to be there.
Now, the finishing move, I think you're wrong on.
No, not the Boss Man Slam?
No, I think we see the Jelly Roll up.
Jelly Roll.
Oh, God.
Well, we're going to roll right into the next match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. This is a
That was a good segue.
Thank
That was
you.
good, yeah.
Very
We practiced that.
match. When the Judgment Days, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez will defend the titles against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. The Judgment Day is on fire right now on Monday Night Raw. They're doing the right things at the right time. Roxanne and Raquel on paper are forming. They're gelling into a good team here. They look like a team. They're starting to fight like a team. Charlotte and Alexa are among two of the more established women stars in all of WWE, not just SmackDown. What's your takeaway here?
Oh, man.
This is a tough one to call, isn't it?
It was a little bit more tough because I love this Charlotte-Alexa pairing, man. It brought so much life to Charlotte.
Yeah.
This is huge for her. And I seen the rumor that it was really supposed to be Charlotte and Alexa against each other at SummerSlam, but she lobbied and said, you know what, keep this going, man. Keep this tag team going. I'm glad she did that. Oh, man, I love the chase. I feel like the chase wasn't that long if you put it on them now. But WWE, I feel like they just might do it. I don't think they should, though. Not yet. I believe you can get another match out of this.
I believe if this was written right, you look at a lot of these matches on here, and a lot of these were put on here to be the blow-off. This is the end of the rivalry.
Yeah.
But you and I know, we've been watching wrestling since mid-'80s. Storylines went on for 6, 7, 8 months, around the horn. And we didn't get tired of it. We wanted to see more. But you make a great point. We said it was speculated it was going to be Charlotte versus Alexa at SummerSlam. But Charlotte Flair, and this is going to be your question, for a long time she's had this tag of being all about Charlotte Flair, not really caring about, kind of adopting the whole Flair gimmick, But for her to step up and actually advocate for this team, to share that spotlight with Alexa Bliss as a tag team, that's a sign of the maturity, right, of Charlotte Flair moving forward.
Is it, or is it a sign of just being a Flair? Because, in all reality, I could see Alexa getting pinned in this match and Charlotte laughing about it. I really could see this. And then again, we still have another wild card in this match. Liv.
Right.
Isn't she going to be upset that Roxanne could possibly lose her tag team title for her? It's kind of cool when you look at this card. How many wild cards are in this? Yeah. I don't know if we're going to see Liv or not, but I could see the turn already between Charlotte and Alexa just because of their history and who Charlotte's character is.
Roxanne Perez has been kind of the MVP going into this thing.
Yep.
She had no business being as good as she is, as fast as she did, but she has really fit into the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I think Raquel is really kind of finding her own little niche too.
She's
just in the last month or so, man, she seems like she's figured it out. Just the little nuances that she's throwing in there, she's definitely found her own niche too. Man, I love both of these, and I think both these tag teams look like they're actually well gelled. And based off of what what you just said, and Charlotte finally seeming like she's willing to share the spotlight, it's kind of why I think Alexa's going to turn on Charlotte in this match.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
And I think that also, if we're going to see Alexa slide her way to the Wyatt Six, that this is the perfect opportunity for it. But I think I think that's what no one sees coming at this point. Charlotte's finally all right, let's do this.
Right.
And Alexa would be like, gotcha.
Right. Well, that's storytelling 101. When you think you've got it all figured out, that's when you
and
change
then,
the questions.
if we keep the belts on Roxanne and Raquel, when Liv comes back, we get that clash of, are you going to give me my belt back?
Or
what happens here?
Take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, you're subtly laying the groundwork for a very interesting story upon Liv Morgan's return, for sure. But you want to talk about stories and people anticipating the big blow-off, that's going to lead us to our next big tag team match for Saturday's edition of SummerSlam, when the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns is going to be teaming up with the main event, Jey Uso, to take on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. On paper, this is your classic tag team grudge match, a match that I'm looking forward to, although I appreciate what they're trying to do with Bronson and Breaker here, Q, but is the star power of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso overpowering this whole thing?
Well, on paper, it definitely is. But I would like to see, this is a chance for the Browns to really step up and really show that, yeah, we can elevate too, you know. And it's crazy because it seemed like everything was just kind of thrown together here, because I know they were actually contemplating having Roman going one-on-one with Braun. But, you know.
I'm glad they waited on that.
I'm glad they did too.
Yeah.
So as far as this tag team to really elevate the Browns, I would love to see Breaker.
It just kills me.
Breaker pin Roman. Now, but the only thing is, I know WWE's formula. And if you watched Monday Night Raw this past weekend when the Browns beat up Roman and Jey, and you know, Roman always end up going through the barricade, you know, and then he takes months off, but he's going to be there Saturday. But and then he got his shoes stolen.
Took his shoes.
Man, my goodness, took the man Jay's, man. He took the man Jay's. You can't have Roman lose after that.
Typical Detroit fashion, you get your shoes stolen.
Yeah, in Detroit. What are we doing?
And I wonder if they weren't in Detroit, would they have done that? The answer is probably no.
Probably not, man.
Because that means something.
Oh yeah.
In Detroit, we talked about this before we came on the air, and the way Bubba Ray Dudley responded to it. We talked about this. Shawn, let me ask you: in the case of Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, is this a must-win for them in order to keep them relevant or to keep them in the conversation of being main event talent? Because right now, WWE needs new main event talent. Is this their one and done here? Like, they have to put out I hate to say 5-star outing, but is this their one chance to see if they deserve to be rubbing shoulders with the likes of a Roman Reigns or Jey Uso?
I mean, it's a good test for them, but I think by them losing to this team, I mean, you got the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion, you have the last World Heavyweight Champion versus these two newcomers, and it's not going to necessarily hurt them as long as they can put on a good show with them. Especially, you know, at the end of the match where, you know, obviously Roman or Jey are probably going to get jumped by him again, you know, this, that, and the other. I don't think they're going to steal their shoes again, but you know, hey, I like to think there was another team that started that in the MWO quite a while ago, but we're not going to get into that right now.
Look,
but,
everybody takes our ideas.
But I think Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, I think they're going to be a formidable team for a while, but I think Heyman's eventually going to split them up. You know, Braun Breaker's the future of the WWE. I mean, we've said it on here 100 times before. Bronson Reed, he's really coming into his own, but I don't think they're going to beat Reigns and Uso. Not this go round.
Is this something that's a one-off, Brian, or is this the start of another rivalry, another tag team rivalry that could be blown off, say Hell in a Cell?
I think this will be a one-off, but I think only because I think we'll see other elements added to it at times. With, like, maybe we see Jimmy included. Maybe when Seth is healthy, we see Seth jump in. So, like, you know, we could easily see this at War Games if you keep adding pieces. Yeah, I just don't. I don't see them I don't see them having Roman lose at this point, or Jey. I mean, I think we'll see Roman stuck in the corner forever. Jey out there trapped. Jey finally making the tag. Roman coming in, saving the day. But I think this is going to be a fun match to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how Braun and not so much Braun Breaker, because like Shawn said, this guy's the future. He's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania within 3 years. He's going to be the WWE champion. Like, something catastrophic would have to happen for him not to be.
Yeah. The only way I see them winning is if we see if they bring a fourth member to that group and they interfere.
And we've sat here and openly questioned, is it time to bring in another member, especially with the injury, whether it be worked or a shoot, to Seth Rollins. Like, on paper, Breaker and Bronson Reed are imposing. They're very impressive. They're big dudes. But is it enough? I mean, when you put them up against the star power of Jey Uso, who is I'll go ahead and say it, Monday night, he was the most over guy in that building. 100%. That's above CM Punk. That's above Roman Reigns. That's above Rhea Ripley. Jey Uso is on another level. And I feel like this is going to be the ultimate test for Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. More so for Reed, because he's kind of, the new kid on the block, in terms of being in the main event picture. But Monday night against Jey Uso one-on-one, he demonstrated he can be that main event level heel, i.e. a King Kong Bundy or Big John Studd or somebody along. Imposing, big name, you know who he is, but not quite there to be world champion quite yet.
How is it that he can make that tsunami splash look so great? Like, it seems so simple, but when he does it, it looks more devastating.
How much of that?
It's just like he barely gets up there and just boom. The way he does it. It's cool to watch.
I don't know what's going to be cool to watch when we see Sami Zayn go one-on-one with Karrion Kross. I'm going to be honest with you. You guys, you all know how I feel about Sami Zayn. Karrion Kross is another one of those guys that is desperately trying to organically make a name for himself, and he's doing a good job at it. Like, people are invested in him. I just don't know, Q, when you look at the names that have been left off this card, how many of them can easily take the place of this match to earn a rightful place on the SummerSlam card? And I don't care if it's 2 nights, three nights, or a whole week. While I want Karrion Kross to elevate to become United States champion, maybe even the Intercontinental champion, Sami Zayn, though, dude, this whole thing with him, I want to be world champion, and this is a part of me being world champion. I'm here to tell you, if he was to become world champion, especially at the expense of Karrion Kross, I'm going to be questioning the legitimacy of the world championship, if I can be honest with you. What's your takeaway on this match?
Well.
LOD.
Yep. I see Sammy going over.
Really?
Yeah, I see Sammy going over because and there's 2 reasons why I see Sammy going over. Karrion Kross ain't got no new contract yet, so
that we know of.
That we know of. As of right now, he doesn't have a contract. But Sami Zayn is already putting up a story. There's a story that's going on with Sami Zayn wanting to be world champion, and I believe they're going to try to build that. Look at this picture. Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
yes,
man,
sir.
I keep forgetting about that, too. So you're suggesting that they may be planning on putting Sami Zayn over the Royal Rumble.
I believe they're going to
do it.
And
send him in the main event of WrestleMania 42.
I think they're going to do that.
Gross.
I can see that happening.
Be the lowest grossing.
You ain't kidding. That's why they're going to have to add a 3rd night to WrestleMania just to make up for that. What's your takeaway with this match, Shawn?
Well, you mentioned Karrion Kross's contract. WWE has been doing some pretty sneaky things as to making reality storyline based. I have a feeling someone's feeding these contracts and storylines that are supposed to be real, but I think they're all kind of like the unreal documentaries that we're seeing on Netflix right now. They are feeding us what they want to feed us, while all at the same time making these smart marks feel smarter, because I know about Karrion Kross's contract. Plain and simple, Karrion Kross goes over Sami Zayn, and he goes over strong.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
100%. Brian, what do you think we're going to see here?
I think the reason we're seeing Karrion Kross on this card is because the contract situation, whether it be signed yet or not, I think they're putting him there, being like, we're sticking with you, like, stay with us. We want to make a push, and he's got that organic push that you're talking about. And yes, there is the Sami Zayn storyline of him wanting to be champ. Who is he gonna beat? Look at these top guys. He's not beating any of them. Gunther, because he's done it once before, but I don't see Gunther's holding the belt anytime soon. Like I said, I see Punk going over on him. So I think Karrion, I think he takes it. I'll leave it at that.
Well, that's what's on tap for Saturday. And if you have an opinion or a prediction or a question about anything that we've talked about so far, you can call into the show live, 810-277-3743, or you can correspond with us in the live chat on the ONTV Facebook feed. And let's switch our gears to Sunday night. And presumably the main event for Sunday night is going to be the street fight for the WWE Championship, a rematch from WrestleMania. We will see John Cena putting the title on the line against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. I wasn't all that thrilled with what they did at WrestleMania. I'm kind of surprised that they're going to revisit this for SummerSlam. Cody, obviously the king of the ring, which earned him this title shot. It is street fight, no rules, no count out, no disqualification. Q, where are we going here?
Sunday. Sunday is the gimmick day. You got all the gimmick matches on Sunday. This one, as long as I don't hear that fiend, and see Travis Scott walking down that stage, man, I don't care. You know, I think they're going to put the title back on Cody. I would like to see, everyone's talking about the double turn element. Mm-hmm. I would like to see that, but I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to turn Cody yet. But
don't you think it would be kind of weird to do the same thing that they just did with Cena, that's close together?
Yeah, well, the one with Cena sucked.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. Do we see The Rock? That's the other question. This whole feud is just a giant question mark. John Cena's heel turn is a giant question mark. No, there's no real answers, and it's like The Rock said, you know what? I'm done. You guys figure it out, you know. And John Cena tried. I mean, he's done a great job as a heel. His promos has been pretty good, pretty strong. It's just that he had the legs cut out from under him, you know. And it's all because of The Rock. And I don't even care to see The Rock. You know, it's because I know if he shows up, he's just gonna leave again. Like, what's the point now? I don't want to see Travis. I'll just say, you know, I know they're going to put the title back on Cody. Just go ahead and do it, and let's just move on.
It's my understanding that Travis Scott has been kind of excommunicated from WWE.
Yeah, thank God.
Pending a report that I had seen through PW Insider, which is a reputable site. Rhodes and Cena 2 at SummerSlam. What do you think here, Sean?
When John Cena first turned heel, he said he was going to ruin professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes was the perennial, you know, white meat baby face that everyone was looking for, slapping hands, kissing babies, right? Now what do we see Cody doing? We see him cussing. We see him using weapons on John Cena. He put him through a table, forced him to sign the contract. Now he's challenged him to a street fight. Who's really the heel here?
Cheated against Randy Orton.
Yeah, so we're going to see John Cena turn this around and start turning Cody heel. I think we're going to actually see John Cena go over Cody. There's going to be some kind of nefarious means there. But I think the build to Cody becoming a heel is going to be coming before WrestleMania.
What do you think here, Sean or Brian?
Rollins.
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
I think Rollins cashes in here.
So he's going to win the WWE Championship
Correct.
and not the World Heavyweight
100%.
Championship.
Because then in two months, we see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see how they turn this back around. I believe we have a call on the line. Welcome to Fatal 4-Way. You're live on the air. Okay. Well, if you can
How's your
hear us,
car's extended warranty?
go ahead. Go ahead and try calling us back. I'm not sure what quite happened there, but be that as it may. This isn't a rematch from WrestleMania other than two-thirds of it is a rematch from WrestleMania when the Women's World Championship will be on the line as Naomi is going to put the title on the line against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Two-thirds of this we saw at WrestleMania. The difference is Naomi was not the champion going in, and it was Bianca Belair in that spot. But we're going to get another triple threat for the women's world title. Brian, let's start with you.
Ooh.
Do we see Naomi continue her run as champion here? Because I see, they're really trying to put the rocket to her and make something of this. And while I am not a fan of hers on a personal level, I do appreciate what she's trying to do to reinvent herself. What do we see here?
At first, when I was looking at this, I'm like, let's not take the belt off of Naomi yet. She, like you said, she's doing very well with what she's got, but I don't see her facing Stephanie Valcour at Clash in Paris.
Every time you talk.
I know. This guy's cutting me off, stepping on all my lines. Uh-oh. Here we go.
All right.
Hi, this is Harriet calling about the rent-to-own homes. How are you today?
You have the wrong number.
So yeah, because we have Clash in Paris, and we know Stephanie Valcour's got the title shot. So I think Io's going to take the title back, and we finally get a finish to Io versus Stephanie Valcour. We've seen them start twice, and both times end in interference or something happening.
If that happens, Sean, what does that do to Rhea Ripley?
She gets a job from Harriet at rent-to-own homes.
I would say also, I don't think Naomi, Bianca, and Jade Cargill need a belt to keep their storyline
Certainly
going.
not.
That storyline's there, so you could do lots with that without having any belts involved.
Makes total sense.
Rhea, I'm going to go with Naomi keeping the belt, honestly. I think she's a good segue for Stephanie Valcour to take the title because they are pushing that woman to the moon.
Real quick like this.
That's why I'd rather see her take on a Rhea Ripley or an Io Sky to get it.
Yeah.
Like, make it mean something when she gets it.
I would too, but at the same time, then I believe that would diminish a Rhea or Io from someone that new taking the title off of them.
What do you think here, Q?
Actually, I agree. I think Naomi's going to keep it. I mean, this is the hottest she's ever been. So, why cut the legs off of her, and I think Stephanie is going to be the one that gets that title. And then she can challenge a Io or a Rhea down the line, that's because that's WrestleMania right there. You're talking about another big match that you want to see. Stephanie against Rhea. Oh, man. Sign me up. I'll be yeeting all over the place, man.
All up
Sign
in
me
there.
up for that one. Sign me up for that one. Yeah, so I'm going to go Naomi. Naomi, she's been putting in the best work of her career. So, yeah.
Wow, the veins are popping out on the top of Jason's
My
head.
goodness. You never know what you're going to hear on the Fatal 4-Way. Well, let me tell you what I do expect is a big snooze fest for the Women's Intercontinental Championship when Becky Lynch is going to defend the title against Lyra Valkyria. This, from a storyline perspective, they've done a really good job at establishing the conflict. I get it. However, you're talking about, and I know our friend of the show, Eric Cherry, is watching. He's going to take great exception to this. But you are looking at the most overrated woman in the world in Becky Lynch, and another one who has no business being in this spot. This should have been Bayley's spot. In my view, I think we would have gotten a better match out of this, but I can see they're trying to give Lyra ample opportunity to be a legitimate star. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line here. Q, let's start with you. Where are we going here?
All right, here we go. This one, Becky, the positive I would say with Becky is that she's elevated that Intercontinental title. That U.S. women's title ain't going nowhere. It's not even on the show. It can't even make an appearance. It's in catering, sitting on a table next to a can of soup or something.
It'll be on SmackDown tonight.
Yeah. But for this match here, man, Bayley, man, that's two of the biggest events that she's gonna miss, and Bayley's got to have some type of role in this match. I don't want to see no interference though. This I'm kind of torn because I don't want to see no interference because then they're gonna just run it back.
Right.
I would say just let Lyra beat Becky in that, and then maybe Bayley just beats up Lyra, and you set that up, and then Bayley takes the title from Lyra down the line.
I sit here and I talk a lot of smack about Becky Lynch, but name value-wise, she should be elevated to the world title for the women. Does she do anything for the Intercontinental Championship, holding the title here in terms of adding some sort of prestige to the belt?
I believe she does. The person that takes her down is going to get a bigger pop. And I don't think it's Lyra. I really don't. I don't think Becky's going to lose this belt. I mean, she just made her phenomenal appearance in Happy Gilmore, too. I don't know if you guys seen her acting chops in that or not. But, she's... Lyra, I don't think she's over. I think her music is over. And Lyra herself... No, when it comes to Becky's going over. The match is Becky versus Bayley. It's got to happen sooner than later.
Brian, what do you think about this matchup for the Intercontinental Championship?
I think, like you said, I think we see Bayley come down. I do feel like she's going to try to assist Lyra in winning. I think Becky still wins. I think we see Lyra turn heel, and then we get the same roundabout stories, but now with Lyra as a heel. Not that I'm looking forward to it, but I think that's what's happening.
I think I would find her more entertaining if she was a heel instead of trying to push herself so far, so fast as a babyface. I just don't buy it. I don't.
Even with the Becky stumpers?
Yeah, the whole package. Like it's a complete misfit for me.
In NXT, she was very similar to Roxanne Perez to me. Yes. And I think it's shocking that now that they're both on the main roster, how much Roxanne Perez has stepped up and pushed herself further, and Lyra seems like she's still right there.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
3 more matches are going to take place on Sunday night as part of SummerSlam. 3 highly anticipated matches, 2 of which you're going to see arguably could be the show stoppers. First of all, real quick, in a steel cage match for the United States title, you will see Solo Sikoa put the title on the line against the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. Q, real quick, what's your prediction here?
This is a tough one.
It is. This is the hardest one for me to call.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is a tag match.
Yeah.
You really don't want to, I don't know, he stepped up. I give Solo a lot of credit. He's shown a lot of character. He's a funny guy, too.
He is.
But I think they put the belt back on Jacob. I'm going to go Jacob here.
Okay. Shawn?
I think we're going to see the entire new Solo bloodline hit the cage. We're going to see Jacob fight him off, get his title back.
Brian?
I think Solo retains. As painful as it is to say, I'd rather see Jacob get the belt, but I agree. I think Solo's doing great with what he's doing, and why is everyone calling us right now? I know my mom's not wanting to talk wrestling, but yeah, I think Solo's gonna. I think we're gonna see more from this story yet.
I think we are too. I think Solo retains the title to maintain his momentum. Jacob Fatu is about ready to be elevated.
Yeah.
I think the U.S. title was a measuring stick to see what he can do in high match profiles. He's killing it. I think we're going to be seeing him elevated to the world title picture. Another match that could very well steal the show on Sunday will be the Intercontinental Championship match, as Dominic Mysterio is going to be defending against the phenomenal AJ Styles. I've actually been very, very entertained by this storyline in the road to SummerSlam. Shawn, let's start with you. What's your prediction as Dom puts the title on the line against AJ?
I love Dom. No Damian Priest on this card. I'm just going to put it out there. I want AJ to go over.
Okay.
I really do. This new AJ that we're seeing is highly entertaining.
Yeah. So much personality, more personality. Yeah. Q.
Man, I agree. I love AJ, man. His new lease on life, and he's pretty much in the tail end of his career. But I don't see him going over. I want to see Dom go babyface, man. I believe that this guy, if he goes over clean on AJ and then AJ extending his hand and saying, that's what I wanted to see out of you, something like that, and then Dom's like, you know what, maybe I could do better. He is the only person on this roster that can get away with an Eddie Guerrero gimmick as a babyface. And the fans are really taken to him. So, and he's going after that, the mega title, the AAA mega title. Yep. I mean, I see great things for Dominic, and I think you just elevate him right here from, going over AJ clean.
What's your opinion, or what's your prediction?
I hate to see Dominic lose his belt, but man, down the line, it makes so much sense to put that on AJ when Cena still has matches left, and you could see Cena finally get the IC title and complete it and have the
Grand
Slam.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's a great point.
And it's Cena versus AJ. You're getting 2 for 1. You're getting that match, and you could have him get the Grand Slam. So I'm gonna say it's gonna go to AJ. I think Dominic's gonna take home that AAA title.
I personally think Dominic is going to retain. I think he's going to be holding on to the Intercontinental Championship at least till the end of the year, just to continue that momentum. Valid points, for around the table here, but I don't know, man. Dominic is a hot heel right now, and I would hate for anything to ruin that. So I anticipate some sort of shenanigans, but he is going to retain the Intercontinental Championship. A match that is not very easy to call in terms of trying to pick a winner is going to be the TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. The Wyatt Six will be putting the titles on the line against DIY, the Street Profits, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and Andrade and Rey Fenix.
No, you're not rooting for.
This is the Street Profits match to win, in my opinion. That they're my pick. They're the ones I want. If you're not going to elevate Montez Ford as a solo star, and you're not going to put Bianca Belair with him to make them the power couple, then they need to be the dominant tag team on SmackDown. That's what I want to see happen here. Brian, what's your prediction?
I'm happy with 4 out of the 6. As long as DIY and Andrade and Rey Fenix don't win, I'm happy. I think the Wyatt Six are going to retain. I'll go with that.
Okay.
I'd rather see it for Axiom, but
Shawn, Motor City Machine Guns.
Darn right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, very viable. I would love to see them get a huge win on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, I
Not
think-
just pay-per-view, but one of the big four.
But what you were saying, I think they would have a great series with the Street Profits.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Q?
Oh man, these teams have been feuding for a long time. Well, outside of Andrade and Ray Phoenix. But I think the Wyatt Six is going to retain. I mean, it's 1 million of them. They have help. There's no disqualifications. I mean, we can see Rowan get in there, and Uncle Howdy can get in there, and
Universal Studios.
you know, yeah, they got the Universal Studios thing going, so they have sponsors. You know, yeah, I'm gonna go with Wyatt Six retaining in this one. It's gonna be a spot fest.
That it most certainly is going to be. It's going to be a train wreck. I mean, you're going to see a lot of viral moments coming out of this match, and it's going to be how many people can get thrown through tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my!
There it is.
Both nights this weekend, the shows go live at 6 p.m. on Peacock in the United States, Netflix internationally for those of our fans who are watching in Canada, England, and outside the borders of the United States. We certainly appreciate you doing that. A pre-show will start at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It is the 2025 SummerSlam, and if you have an opinion, a prediction, or anything that we've talked about in terms of SummerSlam, on the other side of that break, we will be taking phone calls, as long as you don't want to talk to us about rent-to-own homes.
Don't sell us nothing.
With that, we will be back with more of the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV right after this.
9, 8.
Are you or someone you know having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance abuse crisis? 988 connects you to compassionate, confidential support for free.
988.
988 is the new 3-digit dialing code for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. For years, the Lifeline, formerly known as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, has answered tens of millions of calls and helped people overcome mental health-related distress. 988 is the same trusted resource. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you additional help if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone in crisis. Just call, text, or chat 988.
988.
Knowing how to identify signs of crisis in others and help connect them to resources like the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is an important way to prevent suicide in Lake Orion. For information about free suicide prevention trainings offered in our community, please visit the North Oakland Community Coalition at noccmi.org.
988.
Have you ever thought of producing your own podcast? ONTV offers the facilities, equipment, and training to help you get your own podcast off the ground. Learn how to record your show and get it out to the world. Cost is $25 per person, which gives you access to ONTV's podcast room and equipment. For more information, give ONTV a call at 248-393-1060 or visit orionontv.org today.
And we welcome you back to the Fatal 4-Way live here on ONTV, along with Brian Bolf, Shawn Grugel, Quadell Edwards. I'm Jason Clouse. We certainly appreciate you tuning in here tonight. And one more time, if you have a question, a comment, or anything of the sort of what we talked about, we just broke down this weekend's SummerSlam Premium Live event. You can do so by calling 810-277-3743. With that, we are going to kind of go off script, as they say. We're just going to go ahead and put the book down and talk about the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling. Not to take away from my good friend Brian Bolf here, but when you talk about professional wrestling, generally there is one name that comes up. And it was just over a week ago that us and millions of fans around the world were stunned when we were met with the tragic news of the passing of the one and only Hulk Hogan. For the last week, memorials and tributes from around the world have flooded social media, flooded newspapers, flooded magazines. But it just goes to show just what kind of impact, what kind of influence this one man had, not on just an industry, but the entire world. You didn't have to be a wrestling fan to know the name Hulk Hogan, whether you saw him initially playing the role of Thunderlips as he was throwing Rocky Balboa into the fourth row, or if you just happened to see him on MTV, Saturday Night Live. In the mid-'80s, you could not turn on the TV, you could not turn on the radio, you could not see anything in print without seeing this man's name and or face. He was the epitome of the 1980s. He was the epitome of professional wrestling. He was the epitome of the World Wrestling Federation, later on WWE, later on WCW. Of all the people that have stepped in between the ropes, there will never be another Hulk Hogan. So here tonight, we're going to go around the table here, and my esteemed colleagues, my good friends, my brothers, are going to share their favorite memories, moments, and the lasting legacy of the one and only Hulk Hogan. Brian, let's start with you. How did you receive the news?
Surprised. I feel like with that Bubba Love Sponge thing, it wasn't as shocking as it would have been without that. I mean, it's devastating because of like that. Most of us, that was our childhood. Like growing up in the '80s, like Hulk Hogan was a big part of whether it was wrestling, toys, cartoons, movies. I remember sitting Saturday morning watching the cartoon, playing with my LGN figure, like as I'm watching it. My mom taking me to the laundromat and me grabbing as many quarters as I could possibly find, digging my hands in the couch cushions even, and WrestleFest being there and playing as Hogan on that. Like you mentioned, Rocky 3 and Thunderlips. Like I remember seeing that at the drive-in and being like, who is this guy? Like he almost stole the show in Rocky 3, if not for Clubber Lang. But I mean, it like I said, like he cemented in my 80s memories 100%.
Q, what's your favorite memory of Hulk Hogan? You know, and I should make mention too, this shirt that I decided I've been celebrating all week long, right? I've been wearing a different Hogan shirt every day for the last week. But I wanted something special for tonight because we were doing this, and this shirt that I actually have on here, this man bought this for me in Orlando. So this has sentimental attachment. I just wanted to make mention of that. Talk about Hulk Hogan. What was he to your fandom?
I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about SummerSlam
100%.
if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. I mean, all of these, the big four, I mean, these PLEs now, pay-per-views back then were all built around Hulk Hogan to go see him. I mean, you didn't see Hogan on regular TV or anything like that. He was always that special attraction. And it became bigger than the business pretty much because he is the only, and this is what made him goated right here. The fact that he had two runs that were at the top where he was, one was a babyface and the other one was a heel, two separate characters in two separate companies. Nobody has done anything like that. 10 years apart. That's something that you'll never see again. You're not going to see somebody, not even Roman Reigns can go to AEW and be as big as what Hogan was to WCW when he went over there and started the NWO. I mean, Hogan has done so much for the wrestling business to the point where we wouldn't be sitting at this table if it wasn't for Hogan. And there's one thing that Devon Dudley said something that made me smile, and it's probably one of the best things that from my community, the urban community. He said that forgiveness. It's time to forgive. It's time to forgive, and forgiveness is one of the strongest things that we can have as a human. We all make mistakes. We all do different things. We all have bad days. But now, this is the time where we celebrate his life and celebrate what he has done for the business of wrestling, for each and every fan, all the millions watching on Netflix and on all of these different networks. That would not be possible if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan.
It's very well said, and I cannot begin to tell you how much I appreciate what you just said for a number of reasons, because we've had private conversations here where, in the days after this, we sat here and wondered, how are people going to react to this news? What are people going to be saying? What are they going to be focusing on when we look back on who Hulk Hogan was? And the common theme here is there's two people, right? There's Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, Terry Bollea, the man behind the gimmick. And, it's polarizing. It's controversial, but we have decided to focus more on the Hulk Hogan side of things, and for the very reason that Brian and you just said, we wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. Shawn, let's turn this over to you. Our fandom is very similar in terms of getting wrapped up in the whole Hulkamania boom in '84. But it goes beyond that. It was before that in the AWA that he really started to catch fire. But you talk about Hulk Hogan, you talk about Hulkamania. What does that mean to you?
I don't know who said it, but they said it best. I'm going to try to quote it the best I can. Hulk Hogan will never be on a person's Mount Rushmore. He's the mountain that Mount Rushmore is built on.
That was me.
That was you? Very, very profound, Mr. Bolf. Hulk Hogan, January 23rd, 1984, the birth of Hulkamania. The very first day we had cable in my house, I've told you this story before, watching him win the world title off the Iron Sheik. Really, really influenced. Oh, I loved Hulk Hogan's rock and wrestling. Really inspired me to become a professional wrestler and study the history of professional wrestling. Much like you, I had the toys, I had the LJNs, I would watch Saturday mornings, the live wrestling shows, Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. Literally, Hulk Hogan, if you want to get down to it, he was my hero. I mean, he was my childhood hero. Before the advent of social media, I thought his name was Hulk Hogan all the way up until the time I was, I don't know, in the 90s. So I was probably 17, 18 years old. I thought his name was Hulk Hogan, for goodness sakes, and then social media had to go and poo-poo all over everything, But I don't know, man, from seeing him running down with the, American-made shirts with the old font iron-ons, to watching him work out with Mean Gene Okerlund, to drinking the eggs, trying to get Gene to drink the eggs. All these images of Hulk Hogan coming down to the ring, bandana in his teeth, waving the American flag. I mean, that's what he was, a hero. He was an American hero. He would fight for what's right. He was fighting the Soviets. He was fighting Iran. He was American pulp culture at that time. The 90s, the NWO, how many people still do the Too Sweet? How many people still, do the For Life, Yeah, I mean.
Stole Jimmy's music.
When they say, and I'll make it quick, Chase, because I know you got a lot to say on this, but when they said the immortal Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania will live forever, it's going to live forever. I mean, through the archives, through the internet, people are going to know who Hulk Hogan is. And when you base what professional wrestling is today, you cannot say without a shadow of a doubt that wrestling wouldn't be what it is today without Hulk Hogan.
I couldn't agree more. And that is, I think that's why I take such personal offense when, and even before this happened, people would sit there, Hulk Hogan was overrated. Hulk Hogan wasn't a great worker. Hulk Hogan was in the right place at the right time. Okay, I understand where you're coming from with that, but you would be inaccurate. 100% inaccurate. Was Hogan technically a great worker? Yeah, he was. The problem is, that's not what they wanted. They wanted what we got. They wanted that larger-than-life superhero, because you can go on YouTube right now, and you can see a 1991 tag team match in Japan, and this man was matching hold for hold with his opponents, his counterparts from Tokyo. He could work, and he was a good worker, but that's not what brought him to the dance. What brought him to the dance was his charisma. What brought him to the dance was his ability to reach through the camera and make the person on the other side of the TV screen invested and hung on every single word that he said, to the point to where we as kids, every single one of us here, and millions more across the land, across the world, to go to our parents and beg them, take us to go see Hulk Hogan. Buy us this action figure. Buy us this t-shirt. It's been said that superheroes don't die because they're within the pages of a comic book or a newspaper. And even though there are some storylines that will say that, Superman died in this episode or this issue or whatever. Okay, but he's still a superhero. And in reality, he comes back, he doesn't die, right? Professional wrestling, and this is what got me involved in it, I immediately latched onto it like these are real-life superheroes. What we forget in the terms of our fandom is that on the other side of the gimmick is a human being, is a man. And that man went through hell and back throughout the course of his life, multiple times over. Some of it was by his own doing, self-admittedly. We've sat here on these airwaves and said, damn, why can't you not do this? Do not do this. This is not doing you any good. But he could, because he earned that right. He earned that right because he not only revolutionized an entire industry, he became part of pop culture. He became part of MTV. He became part of Americana. Every collage that I have seen for the last however many years, a TV Guide put out this thing, Pop Culture of the 1980s. You saw the likes of Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, E.T. Hulk Hogan was front and center. You couldn't not acknowledge what this man was doing. We sit here now, a week after the fact, and we look back on our childhoods. I attempted to do a tribute show on my podcast, and I had said on that show, my childhood died on July the 24th with the passing of Hulk Hogan, because he was that last remnant physical form of my childhood. I think back to Saturday night's main events. I think back to my mom waking my brother and I up at 11:15 to get us downstairs and in front of the TV, because that was the only time we got to see Hogan wrestle on TV. Those are my favorite memories. I think back to WrestleMania 3, an event that is still talked about to this day. You cannot talk about the annals of professional wrestling history without talking about WrestleMania 3. Hogan versus Andre sold 90,000 tickets for the Silverdome. 90,000 people filled that stadium. And while it was the Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat that stole the show, it was Hogan and Andre that built the show. And that is a testament to the drawing power of this man. Q made a great point. In a 10-year span, Hulk Hogan saved 2 companies and made them the most successful that they've ever been in 2 different roles. Nobody will ever do that again. Nobody will ever sell out Madison Square Garden hundreds of times in a row. Hasn't been done since, and it never will be again. There is a reason why they called him the immortal Hulk Hogan. And I think that's why it affected us the way that it did, because we believed it. We bought into that. We didn't need him to be the World Wrestling Federation champion. We just needed him to be the immortal Hulk Hogan. He has inspired millions of people around the world with the training, the saying your prayers, eating your vitamins. I did. Brian did. Shawn did. Q did. Millions of people around the world did. Why? Because Hulk Hogan told us to. Because we believed in everything that he said and did. And you look at the man part of it, yeah, there is a lot of controversy there, and there's things that should be condemned. But it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore because the man in physical form is no longer here. But let me tell you something. Over time, that will diminish. Because the overall impact of Hulkamania and everything that it encompassed will indeed live forever. Hulk Hogan is, without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest professional wrestler that ever lived and ever will. From an all-around production and presentation. I know Ric Flair is a better wrestler. I'm not talking about Ric Flair. Ric Flair will have his time here. Ric Flair will have his own tribute, but I can promise you this. It won't be nearly on the scale of what we have seen in the last week since the passing of Terry Bollea of Hulk Hogan. So on behalf of I'll let these guys say their own final words, but for me, I don't know where I would be right now if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan and his influence. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have this, because in this, I've met my best friends. I found my happiness, I found my safe space, I found my peace, I found my identity. And it's because of Hulk Hogan. Any parting words you want to say, Q?
I mean, everything was pretty much well said, but just to put a bow on it, just want to send love out to his family, his wife, Sky, and his son, Nick, and daughter, Brooke. And the fact that the sad part, is he didn't get to meet his grandchildren. And a lot of people don't know, in January, I'm going to be a grandfather. Surprise.
What? Seriously?
I'm going to be a grandfather. My oldest son is having a baby. But,
Congratulations, man.
When I heard that, him and Brooke haven't been speaking, and he didn't get a chance to meet his grandchildren. That kind of hurt my heart a little bit. So I just want to still want to send love out there to his loved ones, his family, and Hulk Hogan is still the immortal Hulk Hogan. In my heart, it still hasn't really set in. I'm waiting for this great American wrestling.
The Real American Freestyle.
Real American Freestyle. I'm waiting for Hogan to come on out and say something, or he's gonna give us what you're gonna do, brother. I'm gonna be waiting for that, but it's not gonna happen. So just want to send love on each other, man. You don't know when is your last breath. You don't know when your last breath is, So I mean, I don't judge anybody, and we shouldn't be judging anybody. It's not our role to do that. Just keep on loving on people and just celebrating people for who they are. Hulk Hogan will always be the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Anything you guys want to add before we put a bow on this?
I'll go real quick. Number one, it sucks getting old, seeing your heroes pass on. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, I never would have become Levi Blue. I never would have spent over 20 years in the wrestling business. And I wouldn't be doing this right now. You know, condolences to the family, condolences to the fans around the world. And, you know, I just, you know, I got a Real American Beer hat sitting in my house right now. I was waiting to meet Hogan so I can have him sign it. It'll never get signed, but I'll always have the hat and I'll always have the memories. And that's what we got. I mean, exactly what Q said. The immortal Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania will live forever. You know, we can still live through them through the videos, still live through them through the internet. And thank you, Hulk.
Brian, any parting words from you, my friend?
Just that, like I said, like wrestling was a huge part of my childhood. Me and my cousin renting the VHSs. Going into my teenage years, me and my two best friends, Pete and Ty, getting every pay-per-view, watching the Monday Night Wars, leading to me now as an adult with you guys. It's all the best memories I have is from wrestling, and it all stemmed from Hogan. It wouldn't have happened without him, so I'm glad he was here when he was.
You know, it's funny, this planet has been around for as long as it has, you know, thousands of years. We were fortunate enough to be on this earth at the same time of Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania. And he epitomized why it's fun to be a wrestling fan. You know, he epitomized an entire industry. He revolutionized the entire industry. He changed the world in so many ways. I think the last thing that we'll say here is always be appreciative of what you have right in front of you, because our tomorrows are never guaranteed. Doesn't matter how strong, tough, or immortal you think you are. Our tomorrows are never guaranteed. So go tell your people that you love them here today. And to Hulk Hogan, thank you. With that, we'll go ahead and put a bow on this week's episode. We certainly appreciate everybody tuning in. Joe, thank you for allowing us to be on here for an extra half hour. You were greatly appreciated, my friend. And with that, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for our next installment of The Fatal 4-Way, live here on ONTV as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.